Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. A First Nations leader in British Columbia argues that Premier David Eby's proposal to suspend the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act, DRIPA, for 3 years will diminish certainty rather than enhance it. Judith Sayers, president of the Nucha-Nulth Tribal Council, expressed concerns to City News Everywhere that the reconciliation climate could change within 3 years and outstanding court decisions on land and mineral rights appeals might remain unresolved. Sayers views the suspension as having the same effect as an amendment and states that such a move would violate the UN Declaration by lacking collaboration and free, prior consent from First Nations. Eby's government plans to table legislation next week to enact the suspension, which he framed as a way to allow the Supreme Court of Canada time to resolve a critical mineral rights case. CTV News reports that Vancouver-based mining company Vizsla Silver confirmed on Monday that 9 of its 10 workers abducted from a work site in Mexico's Sinaloa state have been found dead. The company posted an online update stating the investigation into the still missing 10th worker is ongoing. Michael Connard, Vizsla Silver's president and CEO, described the outcome as devastating and extended heartfelt condolences to the affected families, emphasizing the profound loss felt by colleagues and friends. The abduction occurred in January from staff quarters near the city of Concordia, a region notorious for cartel-related violence. Federal officials had previously stated that none of the abducted individuals were Canadian nationals. According to Yonhap News Agency, Samsung Electronics has estimated its first quarter operating profit to have reached a record 57.2 trillion won, equivalent to approximately 33.1 billion. This figure marks a substantial increase from 6.61 trillion won recorded in the same period last year, and significantly surpasses market expectations by 36.7%. The South Korean tech giant attributes this exceptional performance primarily to strong demand for its premium high-bandwidth memory, HBM chips, fueled by the booming artificial intelligence industry. Revenue for the January-March period also hit a new quarterly high, rising 68.1% year-on-year to 133 trillion won. Analysts predict continued growth, with some forecasting the company's annual operating profit for 2026 could reach over 300 trillion won, driven by global data center operators' demand for memory products. The detailed earnings report is expected later this month. Iran has issued a defiant response to U.S. President Donald Trump's ultimatum, rejecting a temporary ceasefire and refusing to unblock the Strait of Hormuz. Instead, Iran has presented a list of 10 conditions for a permanent end to hostilities in the region, including the cessation of conflicts, establishment of safe passage through the strait, lifting of all economic sanctions, and reconstruction efforts. Trump had warned that if Iran did not commit to abandoning nuclear weapons and reopening the strait by Tuesday evening, he would destroy Iran overnight. Furthermore, after Trump threatened to attack Iranian power plants, Iran's sports minister, Ali Reza Rahimi, declared that artists and athletes would form a human chain to protect these facilities, condemning attacks on public infrastructure as war crimes. Pakistan has been mediating, reportedly proposing an Islamabad agreement for a two-phase resolution. U.S. officials, however, view Iran's demands as excessively high, casting doubt on a diplomatic breakthrough. This report comes from Thai Sounds. NBC Boston reports that a 3-year-old immigrant girl allegedly suffered sexual abuse while in federal immigration custody after being separated from her mother at the U.S.-Mexico border. According to court records and a lawsuit, the girl was placed in the custody of the Office of Refugee Resettlement, or OR. Her father, a legal permanent resident living in Chicago, endured months of delays from OR in his attempts to reunite with his daughter, despite fulfilling sponsorship requirements. The abuse, allegedly by an older child in the OR-funded foster home, was discovered by her foster parent in November. The father stated he was only informed of an accident and learned the full details through his legal team. The American Bar Association's pro bono asylum representation project filed a habeas corpus petition, which ultimately led to the girl's release and reunification with her father 2 days later. The case highlights concerns over increased custody times for migrant children, which have reportedly grown significantly under the current administration. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.